It's always a great day when we're hearing that the trash is being taken out, and now we found out that Polygon has been sold to Valnet and hit with mass layoffs. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I do not like to revel in the fact that people are losing their jobs, but on the flip side, if you suck at your job, you probably don't deserve to have it. And that's the way that I'm feeling about Polygon, Kotaku, The Gamer, Game Rant, all of these different gaming outlets, because they are not filled with passionate people. We are talking about individuals who couldn't make it at mainstream political organizations like MSNBC, so they had to find a different industry to infiltrate and another way to make money. And they thought that gamers were going to be an easy target, that they were going to be able to work their way into the games industry and talk about video games, but more with a political slant, and that hasn't really worked out for them. We view them as massive jokes now, and the company that owns trash like The Gamer, Game Rant, Collider, and more are buying more trash. So let's head on over to this article. It's from Kotaku. Another pile of trash. It's just that they flock together. It says, though, the video game website Polygon has been sold to click farm powerhouse Valnet, and much of its masthead has been laid off, Kotaku has learned. Now, from what we understand, outlets like Polygon, Kotaku, The Gamer are basically just working with skeleton crews at this point. They don't have a lot of people that are working for them or writing for them, and it really wouldn't surprise me if the majority of their work now is just pumped out by AI. But we're hearing that the people that were left at Polygon were almost all laid off. It says the sale was subsequently announced in a press release, and multiple staff members have posted online about losing their jobs or about colleagues now being out of work. I'm no longer with Polygon. If you're hiring, please consider the many talented writers and editors now on the market, posted Polygon's co-founder and editor-in-chief. Every one of them deserves a spot on your staff. I won't be talking more about the sale because I wasn't involved. Going to hang out with my kid, taking wins where I can, and the sale was confirmed in the press release, which did not mention the layoffs. The price of the deal was not disclosed, though. I couldn't imagine it being very much, because while Polygon is a name within the industry that I think an average gamer would probably recognize, a lot of their popularity has died off over the years, and that ultimately means they have been getting less and less clicks. So I just can't imagine that they got a lot for this sale, the people who actually ended up selling it off. But Valnet is pretty notable within the video game industry. They do own a lot of different piles of trash, so it seems that they're trying to keep all the trash together. Here is a list of their brands. If you don't know, Valnet is an investment-minded company focused on acquiring mission-critical digital brands and managing diverse portfolios of media assets in specialized sectors such as gaming, entertainment, automotive, sports, travel, and technology. So for screen, they have Screen Rant, MovieWeb, Collider, absolute pile of trash, CBR, absolute pile of trash, and The Things. Gaming, they have Game Rant, The Gamer, Fextra Life, Dual Shockers, Hardcore Gamer, and Open Critic. And then they have a couple of other things like sports, travel, automotive, tech, like Android Police. I've never heard of any of these. XDR, though. For the gaming and screen brands, they have some pretty notable outlets here, but most of these notable outlets are ones I personally do not trust, and I would never recommend that my audience goes to for news, because they are extremely biased. Now, if you don't know, also Valnet is a Canadian company, so it seems that all the trash is going to Canada. Like Sweet Baby Inc. is there. I believe Black Girl Gamers is centered there. Of course, now we have Valnet and all of their different brands being there. But again, I don't revel in the fact that people are losing their jobs, but when you suck at them, you really don't deserve to have them. And there are tons of gamers who are now praising this happening. I used to pray for times like this. Ground zero for the death of games media was when sites like Kotaku and Polygon stopped trying to cover games and just wanted clicks. Turns out games journalists, with their monster budgets and trained propaganda, can't hold a candle to one dude with a camera talking about his favorite video games at his computer. Good riddance. USA defunded, Polygon sold base. This is not a coincidence. Polygon screwed Polygon, which I totally agree with. They are their worst enemy. For years, outlets have attacked gamers and belittled gamers. They always have different opinions than the ones that gamers have, and they never try to figure out why they are out of touch because they believe that they are untouchable, but it's very clear at this point in time that, oh, they certainly are not. Now, of course, we're talking about Polygon being sold to Valnet, but Valnet owns The Gamer, and this is an article from The Gamer that I love to reference when people ask me why I hate game journalists so much and why I despise what they do online. Gamers are terrible people, and we should stop being okay with it. They are literally called The Gamer. Okay, when you are working for a site called The Gamer and you are a games journalist, you would think that you would probably refer to yourself as a gamer and you care about games, but you're also calling people terrible simply because they criticize video games. They are talking about games like God of War being criticized and Alana Pierce being roasted by gamers. They're talking about the rampant racism in gaming communities. They basically just try to take every shot they can at gamers, and this is why I don't like these people. This is why I do not trust these people, and it's why I can't help but point and laugh when they're out of jobs because they need people to defend them, but nobody's going to. Going back to the post, though, people are saying, oh no! Anyway, joystick crawled so Polygon could crumble. People memeing saying, I absolutely love it. Why would I care? People smirking and laughing. Do PC Gamer next? Everybody celebrating this news and or throwing out some good riddance comment. Hope you savor your victory while you can. Real people lost their jobs today, and even Nate Hole here, who, I guess has me blocked. I legitimately have never heard of this person a day in my fucking life, is saying, also hope you enjoy your exciting new future where games journalism is nothing but low effort AI slop, but he is getting absolutely wrecked. If Polygon's employees wanted to keep their jobs, then maybe they should have done better journalism. Oh no! Anyway, the people celebrating had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that these people got laid off, so how can they be perpetrating anything? The grifters lost their jobs. They spewed absolute garbage. They lied. They never held companies accountable. They acted as nothing more than shills. It was an absolute joke to call them journalists, which I, of course, totally and completely agree with. So we are seeing the meltdowns from some of the leftist individuals whose friends lost their jobs, and we are also seeing gamers point and laugh and ultimately praise this decision. Again, I would love for video games journalism to be legitimate again. I would love for the Polygons, the Gamers, the Kotakus to have ranks that are filled with people who are actually passionate about this industry, but instead they're more worried about keeping, of course, their access because they're access media. And so they shill for companies, they defend products that push a certain narrative that they personally support, and they really don't put out pieces that gamers actually agree with anymore. Maybe if they went back to writing game guides and actually talking about video games, they would be able to get clicks again, but that is certainly not the case. So we're finding out that Polygon has been sold, it's hit with mass layoffs, and now it sounds like it's just kind of a skeleton crew. I will be keeping my eye on the situation. I think over the next few months, we're going to see even more layoffs, as we have recently. The Gamer's website aren't just laying off workers, entire sites are apparently being mothballed. I did cover this in another video, it will be linked down below, but yeah, right now it is not a good time to be a video game journalist because now they're going to be looking for other jobs, and well, I just don't see them making it any farther in this industry. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.